Thank you so much, Ryan. Well, speaking of food and wine, in today's culture of fad diets and lose weight quick fixes, it's no wonder we're becoming addicted to yo-yo dieting. But one study found that by the age of 45, the average woman has been on 61 diets. Our next guest says the key to mastering weight loss isn't about what you eat, but why you eat it. Joining me now is Dr. Joe Luciani, a psychologist and author of the book Thin from Within, the powerful self-coaching program for permanent weight loss. Thank you so much for joining us, because I like to think that I eat when I'm hungry and I don't eat when I'm not hungry.
Well, there you go.
But you say we need to change, there needs to be a paradigm shift. We need to change the way we think about food.
Well, absolutely. You know, and with hunger, we think we're hungry sometimes, but most of the time it's our mind wanting to be fed. So it's very deceiving, because we can be misled so easily by the cues around us, the stimulation. You know, there's so much that goes on in the media, magazines. You look at a picture of food, you smell food. Think of Cinnabon. You're walking in the mall, and that smell wafts by. And so you're already tasting Cinnabon right here. And when you taste something in your mind, I call it mind tasting, what happens is you're actually changing your physiology as if you were eating that food. So what happens is that you now start to develop a craving. So the mind is very, very powerful when it comes to getting us to the pantry, getting us to the fast food place. So we have to be really careful in terms of what's hunger and really what we might call a mind-tasting hunger.
So how do we discern one from the other? How do we know, oh my gosh, I am truly hungry, or I'm not really hungry, but I'm bored, or I smell something really yummy?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. It's when the emotions get into it. Whenever you're eating out of distraction or perhaps boredom, what's happening is that now you're wanting to use food. You're wanting to use food to help you cope with life on some level. And that's a dependency kind of relationship we develop. And we don't realize it, of course, but take boredom, for example. Boredom creates stress. People don't realize that. And boredom is an emotion. When we are stressed, we want to feel better. What does food do? Especially the highly palatable foods. What they do is they release dopamine in the brain. That's the feel-good center in the brain. And we want to feel good. So we're eating really to feed the mind, not the body.
And maybe pick up a book if you want to feed the mind. I've heard that sometimes when you think you're hungry, you're really just dehydrated and thirsty. Do you ascribe to that school of thought?
There are many things. Dehydration is one. There are many things that will give us that false hunger. But
exhaustion.
Exhaustion. And what happens though is that when we do things that are like we hydrate or we eat properly, we're actually creating a different chemical response in our body. So hunger hormones like ghrelin, for example, get suppressed when we exercise. So if we do a lot of healthy things, if we take care of ourselves, we're apt to really get beyond just the false hungers that drive us.
And if you could give our viewers one tip that they can take away with them, at least for now, because there are plenty of folks with their New Year's resolution, they don't want a yo-yo diet, they want to try to be healthy. What is the one takeaway you could give them today? Well,
it's a matter of mind over mouth, and it always will be. If you've been on that yo-yo diet for just too long or too many times, realize that you need to shed light on your habits, on your experiences, on your emotions, and recognize that it's not a matter of losing weight, it's a matter of lifelong weight mastery. Unless you change this, you're not going to change your weight for a lifetime. So it's very important.
All right, thank you so much. The book is called Thin from Within, the powerful self-coaching program for permanent weight loss. Dr. Luciano, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I need to drink more water and get more sleep. Coming up next.